PS5 or Xbox One X, which one of the console is the most powerful? Well folks, today we have all the information we've been wanting to know about the next-gen consoles without having to listen to the 52 minutes of plain and boring nerd talks all the way. So if you want to get either of these two next-gen consoles, then smash that thumbs up button in the next 5 seconds. And also let me know in the comments on which one of these consoles you guys are currently leaning towards. So sit back and enjoy the video while we go through everything that you basically need to know about the next-gen console. So in this video, we'll be taking a look at the price, the controllers, the power, the games and exclusives, and finally, the backward compatibility, release dates, and all in this video. So make sure you guys stick around until the end and subscribe for all the latest info. Now starting off with the power, which of these two beasts is going to be more powerful? Well, a few days ago, PlayStation did a live stream where Mark Cerny did a 52 minutes of all the specification and hardware reveal for all the new PlayStation 5, which to be honest was very boring. But worry not, because I've handpicked all of the most important aspects of the PS5 that you should know rather than having to go through the boring nerd talk live stream. Now, it seems like things are looking a lot tighter than we thought, with both the consoles going with the AMD Zen 2 processor. The actual processing power seems to be very tiny bit more powerful on the Xbox Series X, the GPU being the same AMD RDNA 2. Now, when it comes to teraflops, the Xbox Series X will come with 12 teraflops and 52 computing units, while the PS5 will only have 10.2 teraflops and 36 computing units. So it is now pretty clear that Xbox Series X is easily more powerful compared to the teraflops and computing units to the PS5, but the processing speed on the Xbox Series X is locked at 1.8 GHz, whereas the PS5's GPU can easily reach up to 2.2 GHz. So in terms of GPU speed, the PS5 easily takes the win here. Now in terms of RAM though, both the Xbox and PS5 are using the same 16GB DDR6 memory, so both are going to be equally powerful in that aspect. Now let's talk about the SSD drive. It seems to be the #1 key feature about being a big deal on the next generation consoles. Well, in terms of storage size on the SSD, Xbox Series X will come with 1TB of NVMe SSD memory, whereas the PS5 has gone with a really odd figure of 825GB of NVMe SSD memory. So in terms of storage capacity, Xbox Series X is slightly larger than the PS5. However, the PS5's SSD is said to be way more powerful and faster than the Xbox Series X, because on the PS5's 825GB SSD, we are getting a 5.5GB per second raw power, which can now load 9GB file in just 1 second. Whereas on the Xbox Series X 1TB SSD, we are getting 2.4GB per second raw power, which can only load up to 4GB file per second. So in terms of SSD reading speed, the PS5 will be way too powerful compared to the Xbox Series X. So now comes the question of how does the SSD's raw power make a difference in gaming? Well, with the massive reading speed on the PS5, any game will have a much faster loading time. And now by loading time, I don't mean the loading screen you see in a game. Now by loading time, I actually mean loading the environment and the maps and all the level of graphical details available in the game in just milliseconds. So with such a high reading speed, the computing stress is reduced on the GPUs, which will then allow you to get much smoother and better frame rates in games you are playing on the PS5. Now recently, Microsoft had displayed a speed test demo for the loading time between the Xbox Series X and the current generation Xbox One X, where they were trying to load into a game called State of Decay 2, where the Series X took about 11 seconds to load into the game, whereas the Xbox One X took about 51 seconds to load into the same game. So there's a massive difference in the loading times compared to both of these consoles. Now let's say that we put the PS5 and Xbox Series X as a loading time test comparison, then I would say that the PS5 would load the game somewhere in about 2 to 3 seconds, whereas the Xbox Series X took about 11 seconds to load the same game. So there's going to be a massive difference in speed when it comes to the PS5 and Xbox Series X. So if you're playing any open world game, then the world would load much faster on the PS5 and will cost less computing units due to the SSD's raw power speed being really powerful. So even with Xbox Series X having much higher teraflops on the GPU, the PS5 would still be much faster than the Xbox Series X due to the massive raw power we get on the PS5's SSDs. Now, both Sony and Microsoft have confirmed that both the consoles will support 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray players and that both the consoles will be able to run at 4K 60 to 120 frames per second. Now, I believe that first-party exclusive games will most likely be able to hit around 4K 120 frames, but third-party games are mostly going to be sticking around with the 4K 60 frames per second. So it seems like both the consoles are equally powerful and are truly innovative, where the Xbox Series X has higher teraflops than the PS5, and the PS5 is much faster than the Xbox Series X. So it seems like neither of these two consoles are going to be losing to each other in terms of power. But now, power is not the only main aspect we should be looking when you're buying a new console, because at the end of the day, we buy consoles in order to play games, right? So if there is no games available in either one of these consoles, then there is no point in investing your money into them. So by now, we all know that Sony has been very innovative with the PlayStation exclusive games that are releasing this year on the PlayStation 4, and Mark Sony has now officially announced that we will be able to play all of those games on the PS5 as well. And now it is of no doubt that there are many more PS5 exclusives that are already in works and will be launching alongside the console's release dates and also as post-launch titles in the coming years. Some of the biggest titles on the PS5 could be the new God of War, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone 2, Spider-Man PS5, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and the list can just keep going all day. So when it comes to exclusives and games, I would say that PlayStation is hands down going to be the biggest winner. Whereas on the other hand, we have Xbox, who have just officially announced that the Xbox Series X will not be having any exclusives at all. Like literally no first-party games will be releasing on the Xbox Series X, which is by far one of the biggest disappointing news I've heard this year, because if there is one thing that I was expecting from Xbox is that maybe at least this year Microsoft could end up having some really good games like the PlayStation does, and maybe we could get to have a new competitor in town in terms of first-party exclusive games. But it turns out that Microsoft has no plans at all to be releasing any exclusive games on the next-gen consoles, which means any game that you get to play on the Xbox can also be played on your PC as well as on the PlayStation 5. So there really is nothing special about buying an Xbox in particular, other than if you're looking for a few extra teraflops being offered in the GPUs compared to the PS5. Whereas on the PS5, you still get to play all the third-party games as well as the first-party games all in just one console. And let's all be honest that Sony always buys exclusives to all the third-party games as well, because if you want to play some games early or get some exclusive content for the PlayStation, then I'm pretty sure that Sony pays the developers to release the games early on their console first before it goes out to the Xbox and the PCs. I for sure will be getting both Xbox Series X as well as the PlayStation 5, just because I'll have to use both of these hardwares in order to make videos for you guys. But I would like to know, which console are you guys going to be leaning towards this year? Is it going to be the PS5 or Xbox Series X? Let me know your choice in the comments down below. Now, about the release dates of these consoles, we don't really have a confirmed official date yet, but recently we got a new release date that was accidentally revealed by Xbox India for the Xbox Series X, which was said to be releasing on the Thanksgiving of 2020, which would be 26th November of this year. But right after the release date was revealed, Microsoft then went on and announced that the release date was not supposed to be announced yet, and that Thanksgiving 2020 is not the accurate date for the release of Xbox Series X. Maybe someone from Microsoft got very excited and decided to reveal the dates before the official announcements went live, but I would assume that the Xbox Series X would release somewhere around in the month of November this year. But on the other hand, we have little to no information on Sony's PlayStation 5, which is really disappointing that Sony is doing this at this moment. Sony has not even revealed their next-gen console yet, and so far the only official information we received is the 52 minutes of hardware reveal that Mark Sony talked about, which we don't yet know how the final version of the console will look like and when Sony is planning to announce it, or even the release of the console. So far, there is no information being revealed from Sony's end, but many leaks have given us multiple patents showing off how some of the possible designs for the PlayStation 5 could look like, which I've covered in my previous PS5 videos. If you want to go check that one out, then check out the video link that I'll be dropping in the description down below. And as of the price tag, we still have no official announcement yet, but I strongly believe that both the consoles would be priced somewhere around $450 to $500. And I don't really think they will be going any more than $500 because at the end of the day, it all comes down to the price tag. So the cheaper the console, the more units that can be sold out. And maybe they could even sell the console for a much cheaper price in order to get everyone around the world to buy it. They could still make a huge profit off by selling subscriptions like PS Plus and Xbox Live. Now, the controllers for the Xbox Series X is the same as the Xbox One X, where there is absolutely no changes at all. And the one big flaw that the new Xbox controllers, where you still will not be able to charge your controllers. I mean, we are living in the year 2020 and Microsoft still wants us to pay for a new pair of batteries every time your controller runs out of juice. Whereas on the PlayStation controllers, you can simply recharge your controllers just like your phones. But we don't really have the final design of the DualShock 5 yet, and if you do get any official announcement regarding the PS5's controller, then I will keep you guys posted on this channel, so make sure you guys subscribe and turn your video notifications on. But so far, with all the given information, which console do you guys think you're going to be paying for? Will it be the PS5 or the Xbox Series X? Please let us know your choice in the comments down below, and let's see which one of these consoles will have more supporters in the comment section. And also, if you guys want to win a free pre-order standard edition of Cyberpunk 2077 and The Last of Us Part 2 on any platform of your own choice, then make sure to enter the giveaway by just commenting with a hashtag enter at the end of your comment, and I will be picking the winners from my subscribers. And the more active you are on the channel, the better chances of winning all the giveaways I do on the channel. And with that being said, if you guys did go on and enjoy this video, then please make sure to go ahead and break that like button down below. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video, and maybe I'll do a giveaway of DualShock 5 controllers when the PS5 launches, or you can even choose to win an Xbox Series X controller if that's what you want to go for. All we have to do is break that 100 like mark right there. With that being said, I hope you guys have a blast over days. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Till then, take care, fans, and goodbye.